shameless. I see the aimless, I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.
We are here for the One Pride Podcast. We talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. We got some guests coming on. Kurt's trying to get his camera situated. Mark Orum's having some issues. As soon as the issues are resolved, we will put them on here to talk our beloved Detroit Lions. But before we do that, we got to shout everybody out in the chat. We got Chrome, 9 Drinks in the building, Lisa De Lorenzo, Giovanni Lyons, Brent DeWitt, Mofo Jumbo, Rocky Watts, all in the building. And I did send the link out to one of the guys that was moving me in, but never got a response there. So if you're listening, I did send it. Don't know what's going on there. Man, we got a lot to talk about. You wake up, the Detroit Lions has got some crazy news going on about players, and we're going to be definitely talking about it with the guests here. We're definitely going to get into it because it's very, very interesting. And one was a little bit of a shocker, kind of came out of the blue. But before we do that, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. The likes do help the channel out. It pushes the content. That's what it's all about. Also, if you're not subscribed, what the hell are you doing, man? If you're watching it, you should be subscribed. Why? Because we got a game tomorrow. Why? We're doing the live watch party. Why? Because you get your play-by-play and breaking down what's taking place on the field for the Lions versus the New York Giants preseason game 1 of the 2023 NFL season, as we are really close to the NFL season. Mark Oram, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Mike? Man, sorry about the delay. I was having problems with my email. What's going on?
It's all good, Mark. Shout your channel out.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mark Oram from Orum's Forum, YouTuber, Detroit Lions. I do try to do daily videos. I'm trying to catch up with the training camp videos, and I like to do a podcast usually on Sundays. Go solo most of the time, and it's called Orum's Den. And man, come check me out. Thanks a lot, bro.
Absolutely. You got to check him out. This is my buddy, my pal. This is Mark the freaking GOAT Oram. So go ahead and make sure you subscribe. Check him out. Mark, we had training camp today.
Yes.
We had it yesterday. We had a day before with the New York Giants. And before we get into that, because you are a Giants fan, and I'm really curious to see your thoughts on this whole thing here. Justin Jackson just retired. What the hell, man?
Yeah, I heard that actually today, probably about half an hour ago, that he was retiring. The Detroit Lions made a couple moves, and he was a guy that they had last year that they brought in, did well for him. They pretty much stole that RB3 role, played some special teams, ran hard, catch the ball, does everything well. And I heard he came up with some type of nagging injury either yesterday or the day before with the Giants, and now he's retiring. And Dan Campbell pretty much, he kind of let the cat out of the bag maybe about a week and a half ago, saying that he was pretty much going to be the RB3 here, and saying that guys like Craig Reynolds, Jamar Jefferson had some work to do if they wanted to catch up to him. So, it's kind of a surprising move. He's only 27 years old, but I think it's a nagging injury, and he's retiring. Now this opens up that RB3 role. So, guys like Reynolds, Jefferson, Muhammad Ibrahim, they signed 2 running backs. It was Zigbo and Benny Snell. So it looks like that RB3 is wide open again.
Absolutely wide open. And again, you got a lot of players, like you were saying, Craig Reynolds, Mo Ibrahim, that can get in there. I think it's Craig Reynolds right now, but I mean, shoot, that kind of threw a thing in the loop. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting that. Justin Jackson was doing good in camp, but if he's, you have a nagging injury and he wants to retire and end the career, I totally get it. It's a sport that beats the living hell out of you and definitely need to relax. Logan Stenberg cut by the Detroit Lions. I just made a video last week saying Logan Stenberg's on his last leg. Yeah. He literally is not on a leg anymore. He is done. Logan Stenberg, drafted by the former regime, was supposed to be a nasty offensive lineman, supposed to be a guy whom we can rely on, but he ended up not doing well. He ended up sucking. He ended up getting released today. Thoughts on Logan Suckberg?
Yeah, man. Another Bob Quinn draft pick bites the dust on this one. When Stenberg came out, he was drafted from the Kentucky Wildcats. He was one of those guys. He had that grit. He was a guy that was a little bit on the mean side. A lot of penalties in college, but he was a hell of a run blocker. That was his niche, I guess. If you're going to say what his strength was, it was probably run blocking was probably his best trait as an old lineman. And I kind of liked him. I liked him when Bob Quinn signed him. He was a mean guy. He had that nastiness to him, but he just never could get his footing down. He problems from the get-go in Detroit, man. He's always going too high, apparently. He just couldn't really crack the starting lineup, could barely depth. He's a big dude. I think he latches on to another team. Sometimes, I don't know, maybe the Giants will pick him up. They lack some O-line depth. So, they got a good look at him this week for the past couple of days, and they're going to get another look at him possibly if they pick him up. Because he's out there now. So, like I said, a Bob Quinn draft pick bites at us, man. So this team is slowly getting rid of all those Bob Quinn guys, and Stenberg just another victim.
Yeah, and this Brad Holmes was like, finish him, when he decided to cut him right then and there. We are here with Kurt Steele. Kurt, shout everything that you do out so people can get your content. Then after that, I want to hear your thoughts on Justin Jackson retiring.
Well, you can find me on kurtsteele.com. That's my website. I have my YouTube channel, Kurt Steele. Just type in Kurt Steele 14. You'll get that webpage. I write for yardbarker.com, sideline report. I have my own stuff going on. So just go over to kurtsteele.com. You can see all my content right there on kurtsteele.com. Justin Jackson, surprise, like Gomer Pyle. It's one of those things. It's like, I didn't see that coming. I thought he was doing well. He was having a good camp. And I just mentioned him on my show earlier. I was saying, he made some big plays against the Giants in joint practices. I don't understand what's going on with that. But sometimes you just kind of have enough. And these are the days where a lot of veteran players, the guys that when they don't have it anymore, they don't feel it anymore, where they can kind of retire, where they're like, I don't want to go through another camp. The dog days of summer. It was just a surprise to me. He was my RB3, to be honest with you. He was my guy that was going to be right behind David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. This is a shocker for me. But best of luck to him. The Lions brought in a couple guys. They brought in Snell and the other big fella. I can't pronounce that guy's name right now. They brought him in yesterday. It's a shocker. Best of luck to him. He was an important part of our offense last year, and it was an important part of our special teams where he was leading the team in kick return yards. He was 6th in the league in kick return yards last year, and that's going to be a vital piece. We're going to miss in that phase of our for our team. Was that the special teams phase? You're going to miss having Justin Jackson back there returning kicks.
We are here with Mark Orem and Kurt Steele all over the internet. You just go to their YouTube and all the websites talking about Detroit Lions. Make sure you guys hit that like button. 37 likes, 82 in the building. Let's get to 50 likes. What did you think about the Detroit Lions cutting Logan Stenberg, Kurt?
Yeah, about time. What the hell were you waiting for? That's my thing with that guy. Stenberg, he just kind of could never get his pad level right. He was just always playing too tall. He could never get it right. I think that they kind of just hung on to him to see if he was going to ever get that growth, and it just was never coming. So, I mean, and he could be a nasty run blocker, but that's not going to just fit into Detroit's offense because you have to be able to pass block. They want guys who could do everything, especially on the O-line. And for him, it was just kind of the writing was on the wall. I mean, he just couldn't get right. And I mean, best of luck to that young fella as well. He might be back to the practice squad. You never know. But he's a guy who was going to be a casualty because they had to have that spot open for Teddy Bridgewater to come in and go ahead and sign his contract. And the offensive line had a ton of guys on it. So somebody had to go. And then unfortunately was Mr. Nasty is Mr. Released.
Again here with Mark and Kurt. The Detroit Lions have been practicing against the New York Giants. And the Lions, by all accounts, has been the better football team, showing that the Honolulu Blue and Silver is real. Mark Oram, as a fan of the Giants and the Lions, what is your takeaways from practice so far with these two teams?
Hey, man, it's nice to get out there and start hitting against different players. You know, a lot of the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants kind of voiced that same, that same concern. You know, you get bored, man, hitting your own guys. So, you know, going after it, after different players, different teams, it brings a little more competitiveness out there. So, you know, Detroit Lions, they, you know, from according to Twitter and some of the videos that you see on Twitter, X, whatever they're calling it now, you see that the Lions dominated on day one, and then the Giants kind of played a little bit better yesterday, apparently. I'm not sure what happened today, if they even had a practice today. I don't know yet. But, you know, some of the guys look good out there. Hutchinson's playing well. You see Marvin Jones making plays. I think really need Marvin Jones to step up this year. And then on the Giants side, you see guys like Deonte Banks, a cornerback who's learning. You got the Schmitz out there, who's the rookie center guard for the Giants, the boys in blue. So it's good, man. And I didn't really hear too much about Jalen Hyatt, you know, their high round wide receiver. I didn't hear too much about him, but he's got some speed out there. So like I said, man, this is training camp. It's practice, but this is where you need to turn some heads. And I'm just glad the Lions dominated and they showed some grit out there, especially on the defense side of the ball, because I really think this is what they need to do. They need to go out there and they need to make some plays this year on defense. And it starts in practice. It starts against your own guys. Starts against the joint practices with, you know, the Giants got the Jaguars next week. It's just, you know, I'm just glad football's back. And playmakers, we need some playmakers out there, and I think we have a few.
Here with Kurt Steele, what was your takeaway so far in training camp with Lions and Giants? Oh, my.
The Detroit youth is going to be a problem this season. Their young players showed up and showed out. First-year players, second-year players, and the turnover is just going to be good. Jahmyr Gibbs is just an absolute monster. He's a freak out there. He's going to be a mismatch nightmare no matter who he's playing, where he's playing. And then, of course, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's dominant. And Kirby Joseph on the defense, along with Aidan Hutchinson. The youth movement is in Detroit. There's nobody on the defense that is over 28 years old. So this is going to be a young, dominant, competitive team. And I just can't wait to see them on the field.
I love what I'm seeing from the Detroit Lions. Again, they're practicing the way that we expect them to. That third year, they're showing that right now they're the better team, I think, from the New York Giants. And they just are Aidan Hutchinson better than Kayvon Thibodeau right now. You're seeing Jared Goff comfortable in the pocket, throwing the football. Amon-Ra St. Brown doing St. Brown. Dylan Drummond coming in here right now looking like the second best receiver on the football team. And that's going to be an interesting to watch throughout preseason, because if he continues to get open, who do you cut and replace him? Would that be Marvin Jones Jr.? I don't know, but I feel like you got to be able to have the best 53, and if he is playing the best, I don't care that he's an undrafted rookie. I want the best players on the field, and so seeing a lot of good things there. The backup tackle position seems to be off. Matt Nelson being Matt Nelson, not too good. Owusu, we'll see what they could do, but oh man, the Lions are right now having a really, really good camp. What do you expect to see tomorrow night, Kurt? Lions preseason. What do you want to see? What are things that you would tell the fans? Look, obviously who wins the game score doesn't really matter, but there is definitely things that we can take away to watch for the Lions, good, bad, and ugly.
I'm looking for consistency on who's going to play and what role, and just can they get continuity on the field? Can they get the plays in right? Can they get the calls right? Can they get their assignments right? And who's going to step up and make the name for themselves and try to break into this 53-man roster? That's what preseason is about now. Really, because the starters, because of the third preseason, is three games now. They don't want to get guys hurt. The starters will play limited amount of snaps, but I want to see the dialed in focus that Dan Campbell talked about before the start of joint practices. Can they be dialed in? Can they be focused? And can they make sure they get things right? This is going to be the first time you're going to have some of the pieces in place where they're, you got the new coaches, new players. Can they get on the field and get right in game situations? So that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a score. I'm not looking for, for the Lions to win and it be a big win. I want them to be able to go out there and look like a professional team and not like a bunch of high schoolers out there and they don't know what's going on with themselves or which way is up.
I know a lot of fans, they do get upset if we don't win the game, but the score doesn't mean really anything to me. But what I want to see is I don't even know if really the ones are going to play, but whatever unit it is, if it's 2s versus 2s, I want to see the Lions 2s be a little bit better than the Giants 2s. Same with the 3s. And I also want to see Jameson Williams out there catching footballs. He's going to be out there quite a bit tomorrow night. Really important to see what he can do. The other receivers, who's going to step up in the game? Somebody's got to step up besides St. Brown. I'm curious to see Denzel Mims if he's in there, and Dylan Drummond as well. The running game, how can you not be ecstatic to see that? Mo Ibrahim, I want to see who's going to take on that number 3 role. Craig Reynolds, whoever it's going to be. And, of course, the Lions' young secondary. You got Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch. Oh, my God, I'm really excited to see that. Mark, what about you when you're watching the Detroit Lions versus Giants tomorrow? What are you paying attention to that you should let the subscribers know about?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things on the ticket there that they really need to improve on. Like Kurt said, I want to see consistency, from the play calling, from the coaching staff, all the way down, trickled into the players. And like you said, Mike, I don't think we're going to see many of the ones out there. We're not going to see really Goff. Maybe he plays a series. St. Brown. Those guys are going to be kind of like, put to the side, be protected. So youngsters, man, I want to see the youngsters out there. Like Justin Jackson retiring. Who's going to take over now? That RB3 is wide open. Is it going to be Mo Ibrahim that everybody loves? He's that fan favorite. Craig Reynolds, is he going to run away with it, literally? Is he going to be that guy? You got Jamar Jefferson, who's kind of showed out a little bit during training camp this year, especially on special teams. So, and guys like Dylan Drummond and Antoine Green, if he plays, I know he's been a little bit nicked up. And so is Dylan Drummond like the real guy? Can he take the wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5 role, and just latch onto it? So those type of guys. And I want to see, obviously we're not going to see Teddy in there, but we're going to see probably Nate Sudfeld. Well, we won't see. Actually, we will see Sudfeld. He hasn't been released yet, so we'll see Sudfeld. We'll see Adrian Martinez. Can those guys, latch on to a QB2, QB3 spot, maybe somewhere else? And this is pretty much an open book for all these guys right now. This is basically another tryout, like for other teams. So the Giants are going to get good looks at our guys. We're going to get good looks at some of their Giants secondary third guy players. So. That's what I want to see. I want to see health, and I want to see consistency, and I want to see who steps up being the young guys.
Health is obvious, man. Nobody needs injuries in preseason. That would be terrible. That is the last thing you want to have happen. And right now the Lions are really doing good with the injury bug, so let's just go ahead and keep it that way. When you think about, and even though the score don't matter, it's fun to talk about it, right? It's fun to talk about score predictions in there. Kurt, what do you got for a prediction for tomorrow's game?
First of all, I got to give a shout out to Bach Oram for wearing the OG Matthew Stafford jersey. Man, I used to have that jersey. I gifted it to someone else, but shout out to Mark Oram for that fabulous, fabulous jersey. But score predictions for tomorrow night, I'm going to go 17-10 Lions.
17-10 Lions and a barn burner right there, folks, and really starting off the preseason on high. Yeah. Preseason games.
I mean, you asked, man. I had to give it to you.
That's literally the week 3 preseason game where you're just like, God dang it. None of these guys are going to be here. Mark Horam and everybody in the comment section, throw in some score predictions just for fun. It doesn't mean anything, but you know, it is fun to talk about. What do you got for score prediction, Mark?
I think it's going to be a little bit higher scoring than that. I'll say 31-24 Detroit Lions. You know, hopefully we get to see a JMO long touchdown. He's supposed to be getting a lot of looks. So I'll say 31-24 Detroit Lions. Okay.
Well, I'm going to go 3-2 in this game. No, that would be an absolute
score. You got a hockey score.
That would be an awful, awful game for sure. I'm not going to go with the Lions. I'll just go with 32-21. Even though it's going to be the Nate Sudfeld show, I would like to see at least some points scored in this game just because I don't want to rip my eyeballs out and be already done with preseason so quick. Brent says 24-17 Lions. With the Lions win, we got 9 drinks laughing with the JMO jersey. That's what exactly Mark Oram is wearing right there. The old Jamison Stafford jersey on for you all folks to enjoy. We are literally 2 likes away from 50. Smash that like button. We're going to go ahead and take QA from you guys in the comments below. We'll take your questions, so get ready. Throw that in there. You already know how it works. Hashtag Lions, hashtag LNU, hashtag beta male, hashtag cancel culture. Whatever you want to do to get my attention, that would be all on you. And then we can get our questions.
Hashtag go to war.
Hashtag it all. World War III. Man. All of that stuff in the comments below. And then we'll get it for you guys. Also, before questions come in, tomorrow night I'm going to be on the radio on the Huge Show at 5:25 p.m. talking Lions. So if you guys have ever heard of the Huge Show, it is West Michigan's big Lions thing. So 5:25, I'll be on there talking Detroit, and we are doing the live watch party for the Lions tomorrow night from 6:30 to whenever the hell it ends, and then post-game show and Lions Nation Unite when the game is over, whenever it ends. Probably 15 minutes after the game is over. Jump on there. We'll have it up for you to talk Lions, and I know Kurt is real excited to talk about how the Lions will win this preseason game, and it means everything to win games in the preseason. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, of course it is, man. You gotta win, man. You play to win the game.
You play to win the game.
Playoffs? Don't talk about.
Hey, Mike, did you say that you're going to be at that game? Did you say you're going to be there or no?
No, I'm going to be live streaming the game on here. Not going to be at a preseason game. I love the Detroit Lions, but if I'm going to a preseason game, I think someone's going to have to pay me to go to one of those. I don't know.
No, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Hi,
I'm trying to go to the one down here.
Oh, yeah. Well, for you, yeah, no doubt. It's a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Hi, me. Did y'all hear Justin Jackson retired? Yes, sir. We definitely just talked about it. Okay. And, they just signed running back Benny Snell.
That's not a bad signing, actually, Benny Snell.
It's not.
Not a bad signing. Not bad, man. Signed by, drafted by Pittsburgh Steelers a few years back. Didn't get a lot of opportunities in Pittsburgh. And played well in college, though, man. He had almost 4,000 yards rushing in college. He's a bruiser. He's like a 225-pound dude. So they're kind of looking for that hammer, it seems like, with the signing of Snell and Ozigbo, both kind of like the same size, and both just do one thing, and it's run north and south. So they are capable of catching the football, but those two guys are hammers. So it looks like they're trying to find that third or fourth guy. So I don't mind the Snell signing.
And hey, you got to keep flipping that roster when someone retires.
Yeah.
We got 141 in the building, and the Dern just came in. What's going on, Dern?
Sure.
Hashtag One Pride. Do you think Tom Kennedy will return to Detroit, or do you think his time in Detroit is done? I'm going to say his time in Detroit is done. What do you got, Kurt?
I think there always will be a practice squad spot for Tom Kennedy in Detroit. He's a practice squad legend in Detroit. I just think that if it's an opportunity for him to, stay local, I think he might take it. I don't think he gets a lot of opportunities anywhere else.
Let's see here. Hashtag wow. Any thoughts on Peter Schrager doing an alternative broadcast? Yeah, I know they're doing. Yeah, I know they're doing that now for the preseason game, so that's kind of cool. So if you can't watch, you can go to DetroitLions.com, and they'll have it actually on there on the website. So no matter what, wherever you're at, if you're in Hawaii, Antarctica, or Mars, you can watch the game if you have internet. I'm still upset the media for overhyping the Teddy Bridgewater sign. Something big is brewing in Detroit. Les, this was absolutely, utterly ridiculous. Okay?
It was.
If you
everybody was fooled, Mike. Everybody was fooled.
Everybody was fooled, okay? We have a feed, Kurt and the Lions Nation Unite crew. We have a feed, and I'm thinking, this is something big's happening, okay? Lions are going to trade for Chase Young or Chris Jones or something like that. And so we're sitting here just what is happening? We're all waiting, wanting to know. Nobody knows anything. We're getting a couple leads that went in a different direction. We got Kurt contacting, I contacting, got other people contacting people. What is going on here? Because we don't like the idea of doing the little eyes thing, or it's give us a clue. End up beating, and they made it sound like it was a big, giant move.
I know.
And it was Teddy Bridgewater signing, which I think everybody kind of knew was going to happen at some point, potentially. Kurt, what the hell is going on with your field over there?
Man, I'm going to tell you this. It was absolutely – I was laughing because it was absolutely hilarious because we overreacted. The fan base overreacted. Us as the kind of the Team B type of journalists that cover the Lions, the online guys, we were looking upset and we were like, what the hell? And, everyone's trying to refresh their page. And I'm on Twitter or X or whatever the hell you call it. I'm just refreshing. I'm talking to people that, come in my contacts or who contacts of the team. And with it being Teddy Bridgewater, I was like, okay. Yeah, it wasn't the news that, we thought it was going to be the big news. But however, I said this the day it happened. I don't want to downplay the signing of Teddy Bridgewater. No. Because if you look at what we have in the quarterback room right now, he gives us a significant upgrade and makes our quarterback room kind of credible. Because you look at Nate Setfeld, 37 career passes in the league since 2017. Then you have an undrafted free agent on the roster, and then the other quarterback's not even available. He's on the active NFI list. So we needed a better backup situation. And I like the signing of Teddy Bridgewater, and he brings that credibility. You talk about what he did down in New Orleans. You talk about what Dan Campbell said. He's mentoring receivers. He brings the receivers in the day before the game, goes over the whole game plan. He teaches them, hey, you might want to run your route this way, route recognition and cover, how to read coverages. That's the type of veteran leaderships in the quarterback room that we have missed. And it doesn't all fall on Jared Goff to do that with his receivers. He can, he has a guy who's a former starter in the league, and he has skin in the game. We haven't had that type of backup since Dante Culpepper was in the Lions back in 2008, 2009. We've always had those guys that's kind of just been hung around the league and doesn't have a substantial start in the league. But we have a guy who's with substantial time in the league and who has played. Guy has 15,000 career passing yards. So he has skin in the game. I like the Teddy Bridgewater signing. It wasn't the big whoop that people thought it was going to be. And they kind of oversold it. And I laughed at the guys. I even – one of my guys that I was like, yeah, that was funny. But they were like, they knew it was coming. They just couldn't leak it out. The team told them, hey, you can't say anything until it's official, until we really actually know, until it's confirmed. And then when Ian Rappaport tweeted it out, then everyone started pushing it out. But it was funny because it deflated the whole fan base. We were like, "Oh, that what?" Because we expected to sign Bridgewater. We
Yeah,
knew
it
it
was
was coming.
expected.
They've been flirting
April.
with each other since the spring. So, but I do like the fact that we did sign him and bring some credibility to our quarterback room because we didn't have it behind Goff. If Goff went down, it was going to be a loss after loss after loss after loss because Sudfeld struggled. He was struggling in camp. I mean, it was kind of, they kind of fed the narrative that he had good days and bad days, but he was actually struggling. And my man over there at All Lions Fan SI, John Macaroon, said it. Call Teddy because this guy is not it.
Yeah, man. There's two people I listened to, and they didn't. I mean, I asked them, "What is this big deal about?" And they both had no idea. So, and they didn't do any crazy tweet. They didn't do anything like that. So I'm just sticking with those guys for now on, and they're in the organization. So I'm sticking with them. Because they didn't do the crazy tweet. I said, what the hell is going on here? I won't spill the beans, but good God, man. So I'm going to stick with those guys for now on because that was a – man, I didn't like that. It's like, come on, man.
Absolutely hilarious.
Sitting in this spot for 2 hours, refresh. Okay, guys, I'm supposed to be off the clock, refresh, and I know everybody else is doing the same thing, so – oh, man. Mofo.
I mean, everybody, everything King, Road Lines UK, we're all in that chat for hours just kind of
like,
sitting there like, what the hell's going on?
And then I got one of my guys is like, okay, I'm going to contact another team to see if that's a trade. And they're like, I've got nothing from them. And I'm like, what is going on here? Our time is now. Do you guys believe we will sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson to a long-term deal, or do you believe there's more of a one-year rental to mentor young safeties? What's your thoughts on that? I actually probably say it's a one-year deal, and it's not because of C.J. Gardner-Johnson's bad. It's because of Brian Branch is good. And Brian Branch, to me, is like a C.J. Gardner-Johnson clone who's getting a lot of snaps right now. And if they were like, you know what, we love C.J., but Brian Branch can fill that spot, good to go. What do you think about that one, Mark?
Yeah, no, it feels more like a one-year deal right now because of the Branch deal. I'm drafting Branch, him being available in round 2, I think was amazing. And there's been nothing but shine on Brian Branch so far. He can't do nothing wrong in camp, and he's making the right reads. He's playing nickel corner. He's playing high safety. He's playing safety. He even wants to learn some outside cornerback position. So this guy is going to be, I think, a captain eventually. One day, it feels like, and again, it's training camp, it's practice. We want to see it in games. But if you ever watch this kid at Alabama, he was the real deal. And he just had a bad combine. He didn't have a good 40. That's why he dropped in the draft. And if you watch Lions Den on YouTube, you see how excited that Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell were that he was available still. And they traded to get him. Traded with the Packers, by the way. Thank you, Green Bay. And it was a wonderful get, man. It was a wonderful get. And I feel like he is kind of like a clone of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They both are versatile. They both can play in the box. They both can play safety, nickel. So it could be a one-year deal. But if he balls out and he really loves it here, why not pay the man? Why not pay a guy like a C.J. Gardner-Johnson? He is a dog. He is a voice. He is a leader. Now let's see what happens in the regular season, but maybe they are working on something on a multi-year deal because we got him for peanuts, man, and he was looking for big money coming out of Philadelphia. Philadelphia offered him this. They kind of lowballed him. They kind of put they gave him like a nice contract, but I think they backloaded it or something like that, and he was like, "Let me go see what I can go get." He didn't get what he wanted. Brad Holmes jumped on it, gave him a one-year deal. He's looking for that big money, though. He's looking for money. So let's see what he does this year, and maybe he can be a Lion for 3-4 years down the road.
Who do you think will be the final starting linebacker to start the regular season, Kurt?
Yeah. We're going to pay off that 4-2-5 the defense, and it's going to be Anzalone and Derek Barnes right now.
Rocky Watts,
Derek
hashtag
Barnes Go ahead.
Preseason shucks. Do you guys like the 3-game preseason or the 4-game? I like the 3 over the 4th game. The 4th game sucks. I mean, when they had it, it was like I don't even want to watch it because none of these guys are on the roster, and it's just like, it'd be Tim Boyle doing it. Oh, it will be, like no one cares, man. So I prefer the 3-game. I like it a little bit more. That's my personal preference. I know that Mark Orem wanted to have 5th or 6th or 7 preseason games. He really, really likes it. He considered having 8 or 9. He's in love with the preseason games, but
why not 10? Why not 10? Why not 10? So, I wish it was only 2 games. I just don't like it when guys get hurt, man. So, I wish it was only 2 games in preseason.
The ghost did you to try. My good friend here, he says, gotta love those Giants are beating the hell out of you in joint practices. I don't know where you're getting your info, my man, but it's the opposite right now.
Another one, brother.
But I love you, Judah. Appreciate you coming in, dog. Appreciate you coming in, dog. Make sure you subscribe to Judah if you are a Bears fan or if you like crap talk. He is really, really good at it, and that's what makes me. I love crap talk, and he's good at it. Hashtag FGB. Do the Giants have any backs up offensive tackle depth that we could poach after the roster carts? Mark Orem, you are a Giants fan.
Yeah, I don't know too much about their depth chart as at the OT position. So I don't really have that for you. I know we brought in Bobby Hart. A guy like Bobby Hart.
Real Giants fan right there, huh?
Yeah, I'm a good Giants fan
right there.
I don't know nothing about their depth chart, man. I don't know nothing about their depth chart. So, but
Curtis Steele, who's not a Giants fan, who probably knows a little bit more. Thank you, Mark Orem, for failing on that one.
He does.
So you get.
Yeah, they're looking for their offensive tackle depth themselves. So I don't think they have anybody that they're willing to spare. To be honest with you, their offensive line they had their own struggles last year. So I mean, our backups are better than their backups. So I wouldn't take anybody from their offensive line to unless it's one of their starters to put on our offensive line.
You know what one team I would never take a single offensive lineman from? It rhymes with Wago Wares. The Chicago Bears offensive line is terrible. And there's been not a single player out
Straight cheeks. Straight cheeks.
Hey, let the trash talk begin, Ghost. Let the trash talk begin. 'Tis the season. You gotta love it. That's part of football. Charles Harris started 6 games last year and was terrible. The defensive also is the bottom. Why would the coaches revert back to Harris starting when he did not work last season, Kurt?
Oh man! First of all, he was injured last year, so he played in 6 games. I think he had a couple sacks last year. I mean, he was just hurt. He wasn't himself. I mean, but the guy is a proven commodity. The guy led the team in sacks a couple years ago, so that's why they went back to him. The guy's a good player. I mean, I don't understand your question here. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, James Houston, as good as he was last year, he has his own struggles, and he wasn't going to start over a guy like Charles Harris. James Houston's a great situational passer, but he has to add more to his game to get in front of Harris. So that's why Harris is going to start. Who's going to start? Julian Aquara? No, he's not consistent enough. So that's why he's the starter. He's the best Sam linebacker that we have on the roster right now.
For sure. Saying that you have one good wide receiver. Oh, he's talking about Chicago Bears. Since I don't see a question here, unless guys keep posting in there, hashtag Lions, hashtag LNU, hashtag whatever, and then I can see it, I'll answer your question. Smiley De La Rosa in the building. What's up with you? Mm-hmm. Who is our number 2 wide receiver legitimately, Mark?
Well, legitimately, it's probably Josh Reynolds right now. I don't really see anybody, it should be J-Mo. It should be J-Mo, but he's not ready for 6 games, and there's some controversy with his name, and I think it's a little bit over exaggerated. But I would love it for it to be J-Mo. But right now, we're going to the season tomorrow. We will be going into the season in 6 games. We don't have our guy that we picked 12th overall. So, you know what I mean? It's going to be Josh Reynolds. As of right now, it's Josh Reynolds, I think. I think he's a solid wide receiver. He's a big wide receiver. He can stretch the field. He can run intermediate routes. He can go short, long, whatever. He has reliable hands, familiarity with Goff. Ben Johnson loves him. So right now, I think it's Josh Reynolds. Hopefully one day it's J-Mo, man. If J-Mo clicks and we have a guy like St. Brown and J-Mo, this offense is going to be unstoppable. It really is. And if we can keep the running game going, keep the O-line intact, sky's the limit. But right now, it's Josh Reynolds as a wide receiver, too, in my opinion.
So Jameson Williams apparently listens to the podcast. If you're listening right now while we're live, or if you're doing another time, prove the haters wrong. Prove the media wrong. We from them on some things, but all you got to do is go out there, catch the football, make noise, and guess what? Everything is on your side. How do you feel about Jack Campbell so far? I feel like I've seen dozens of videos hyping up Gibbs, Branch, and Laporta, but haven't heard too much about Campbell is doing. Kurt, what do you think about Campbell, what he's doing? You know, linebacker, you're hearing everybody else, but Campbell's kind of just in there.
Well, I'll say this. You haven't heard about him because the other guys in front of him is playing better. Derek Barnes just has a stranglehold on that middle linebacker spot right now, and he ain't giving it up. Campbell's a rookie. He's playing good, but I just think that Derek Barnes is like, look here, guy, this is my time to shine. I'm taking this. So I think it has he's going to have a learning curve. Of course, he's a rookie, but Derek Barnes is like, man, I ain't giving this up. He said, you look at what happened to Barnes last year. What happened? Rodrigo came in and played in front of him. I think he made that conscious decision. It's like, it ain't going to happen again.
We got 216 in the building with 70 likes. Let's get to 100 likes. We'll do an ultra combo if it happens. We love ultra combos here. We love getting it going, and this is a combo breaker. Hashtag Lions. Was Justin Jackson's retirement due to health? A nagging injury, yes, but is it fully? I don't know. He had a little bit of dinged up, but maybe he was just done. Kurt, what do you think? Maybe you have a little bit more on this? You are a beat writer.
From what I've gotten from my sources, it was just no one knows right now. It was just like kind of out of the blue. It's a surprise to a lot of beat writers. They're like, what the hell's going on? We don't know right now. Until we kind of see him sit down before an interview, we probably won't know.
Motor City Dan Kimmel enjoying watching preseason just to see the second string looks, but due to our lack of, as Detroit Lions, who you guys afraid of getting injured? Afraid of getting injured? Mine would be Jameson Williams because he's going to be playing a lot in the preseason. That would freak me out because, god dang, there's already been a lot of setbacks for him. That would suck. Backup offensive lineman, I think that would be an issue. Right now the depth's not that great, so I think that would be something I wouldn't like to see. Mark, what about you?
Yeah, Jameson's one of them for sure. You know, Dan Campbell says they're going to douse him with preseason snaps. So that would be a guy that I'd be really worried about if he goes down again. You know, obviously, like the rookies that we drafted, you know, they might get a little more playing time, even if they are first team. The guys like Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, Gibbs. I don't want to see any of those guys go down right now. And like you said, too, the O-line. I don't like the depth of our O-line, really, as of right now. I think it's one of our weakest points on our football team. And if we were any guys on second, third team guys go down like that, I think that would be a major concern for the Lions. So, yeah, just, you know, there's quite a bit of players out there that I don't want to see get hurt. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but, you know, the main guys for sure.
The longest name on planet Earth on YouTube, Torque the Dork, was here. The former Dragon fan, Tim, asks, hey, Mike, are you streaming the game tonight like you did during the regular season? It's tomorrow night, and I will be streaming the game tomorrow night. That's when the Lions play the Giants tomorrow night. So, yes, it will be taking place, and it's going to be really, really cool to watch. Ghost of Judah Tribe says, you guys went 5-1 in the division last year and still didn't win it. Didn't even make the playoffs. Were you guys the first pick in the draft?
3 wins, bro. That's all you got to know. 3 wins, bro.
Yeah. First pick of the draft. Come on. I love the trash talk. I do love it, though. Let's see here.
Why are you talking?
Because he is the best trash talker on planet Earth. He is.
He loves to talk.
Dr. Detroit.
I love it, but okay.
They look good again today. Was just talking to Bill and Nick Ford about them. They are excited too. Dr. Detroit up there, big wig and Ford company. And yes, they have been looking good. we shall see tomorrow night on the field and see if some of these guys that are doing good in practice that are undrafted rookies like Starling and like Drummond, can they do it on the legit field? Because we've seen multiple times you have really good players that are good in practice, but when the lights are on, they suck in the game. So that's something I would like to watch too. These undrafted guys, can they get the success game time, or is it too big for them? I mean, Friday night's game, I thought today was Friday. Isn't that a bum? You think it's Friday and you end up not being?
That sucks because if you gotta work tomorrow too.
Yeah. That's a bad feeling, man. You think it's Friday and end up being on Thursday, not the day that you want. And I cannot wait for Friday because I'm exhausted. It has been a long week for me, and it's game day tomorrow where the Lions get to play in the Honolulu blue and silver. What is one player, Kurt, you're watching in the game tomorrow, second or third string?
Whew. Second or third string. Actually, the guy we just talked about, Jack Campbell. I want to see where he's at. I want to see what he's doing. You know, high draft pick. You know, I want to see that guy go out there and do his thing and see what we got. Kick the tires on Jack Campbell because right now I'm not seeing much of him because I said Derek Barnes is taking that spot by the stranglehold. So I want to see what Jack Campbell can do out there. I want to see what the young fella from Iowa can do.
What do you got there, Mark Orm, for a player you want to watch that's second or third string?
Man, second or third string. You know, they want to see what Joshua Pascal does. I want to see what he does, you know, because he's got Charles Harris right now as that first guy opposite of opposite of Aidan Hutchinson. So I want to see Pascal, young guy. I want to see Brian Branch out there too, Jack Campbell. There's a lot of guys that I want to see stay healthy, see if they can handle the rigors of the NFL. So, you know, Josh Pascal, though, I'm really interested to see how he plays.
I want to see the kicking battle. Like, is there anyone going to separate there? I want to see that because we don't really know Riley Patterson there. Come on, guys. Who is going to step up in the kicking game? Because you don't know. So that's going to be watching there in the kicking game, see one of those guys do. Go ahead, Kurt.
Well, you know, Romo, his wife just had a baby like yesterday or something like that, or day before or something. So I don't know if he's going to play. But the wife's just having the baby.
Hey, he better play or he's going to get punted. Oh, baby there or not.
Romo, congrats.
Yeah, congrats. You know, and Frank, I think his wife, she finally had her baby too. So, I mean, it's like, you know, baby fever in Detroit right now.
Hey, I'm out of Detroit. I ain't want no baby more fever. I'm good with my kids. Another one after coming in here. Oh my God!
My kids grown.
Yeah. I got a 17, soon to be 18-year-old and 11-year-old. That's enough. Don't need no more freaking diaper changes and any of that stuff.
Mine is the grandkids now.
Oh yeah. There you go, grandkids and super. I'm shocked you don't have like great grandkids or great grandkids.
Nah,
you know?
I'm only 51, man. I'm not that old, brother.
251 back. I mean, you're up there with Noah's time. You know, he brought you aboard the ark.
You know, I got Bobby Lane's autograph one day, man. You know.
Oh man, can I get a shout out for Chris DeBish? Shout out to you, Chris DeBish. Huge shout out to you. I'm sure I destroyed your name. I always destroy names. That is my epic fail in life, and I'll continue to fail from today on. What's that?
I think he's calling somebody the B word.
Yeah, I think he called somebody.
Oh, one of the funny. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't even know. Let's see here. Ragnow excused for the week. Yeah, for sure. He deserves to be excused. He is a certified stud and a bona fide G. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, he won't see a snap. He doesn't
100. Yeah, he don't need to make
I don't think he wasn't gonna see it. I don't think he was gonna see a snap anyway.
No, he's barely practicing.
He is the one individual you don't have to really worry about when it comes to the Detroit Lions.
He good.
Dr. Detroit said he was born in 1871. He apparently was there during the era of Lincoln.
Yeah,
Abraham Lincoln's time. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you for, witnessing potentially one of the biggest events ever. His inauguration and all that lovely stuff. Folks, we got 199 in the building. Can we get to 100 likes? That's 16 away. We will do an Ultra Combo. If we get there, that's what it's all about, man, is doing those Ultra Combos. Absolutely love it. Again, tomorrow I'll be live streaming the game, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of streamers doing it, a lot of Lions folks out there, whether it be Aurora, Lions UK, whoever. There's going to be a lot of them doing that, so come back and join the fun. If you don't want to watch me, watch somebody else do it. Be a great time, at least see the reactions. Because I think we all, we're a little bit hyped with these Lions games. Even if it's preseason, get a little bit hyped. It's the way it is, man. Says preseason is upon us. LFG 100%. LFG is super, super great to have that. And this is where it all begins, right? It starts in preseason, and we're going all the way basically nonstop to the NFL draft. Let the fun begin, at least for content creators. It's never ends, but it really gets busy now. Kurt, are you excited now to have a lot of work going on all the way till the end of April?
Yeah, kiss the kids, tell the wife, hey, we'll talk to you on and off until the spring. At least in January, kind of like how it is, man. And because you got to write your content, you got to write articles, you got to do whatever you got to do, man. And just kind of like it's a total grind. And then when you add other stuff on top of it with your home life and your work life, and then I'm going to school too, so it's a jam-packed time for me right now.
Mm-hmm. Huge shout out to Jim. That is the father of Mindy. Huge shout out to him for serving his country 22 years in the military. That's what we love here is service members. He is a real one. I've seen all his awards. He is a bona fide G and a certified stud. A lot of older veterans I love, especially from the Vietnam War, especially from World War II. You guys are the real heroes. Absolutely are. You put your body and life on the line, and we love our veterans here. Kurt is a veteran as well. I call him Sergeant. Why? Because that's what he was. And I appreciate his service to our country. So all you veterans out there that are listening, whether you're watching live and or after the fact, thank you for your service. Truly, truly do appreciate it. It is the difficult job, and it beats you up physically and mentally, and you don't get paid a whole lot to do what you're tasked to do. So we appreciate it. The Ghost of Jude Tribe's here, more like oh, here we go. No, not that.
Yeah,
if I say that word, I'll get canceled.
Don't say words. Words are bad.
Yep. Let's see. Hashtag seems likely yesterday I told you I was football, and here it is. Yep. Absolutely. It's right here. Thank you for your service, Chrome, and everybody out there is saying that as well. I'm digging the Snell pickup as well. What do you think about the Snell pickup, Kurt?
I like it. Guys, big body back. We can see what he can do. Could he fit in? I don't know if he's a guy that makes the team, but he got a shot with Justin Jackson retiring. Any of those guys below those two from Gibbs or Montgomery have the shot to make the team if they can go in and make themselves a name for themselves.
Yeah, he'll Snell you later. If he can come in and do it, he'll definitely
Snell you later. Yep.
Definitely will get it done. Mark Orem, tell the folks where they can find your content.
Yeah, you can find my content on YouTube, Mark Orem, Orem's Forum. I do everything Detroit Lions, do a podcast. I try to make it on Sunday when I can. It's called the Orem's Den, and we have some fun. We just Detroit Lions content all day, bros. Thank you. What
about Kurt? Articles, beat writer, videos, everything.
Definitely. You just check me out on kurtsteele.com. All my content is right there. You just spell like my name, CURT.SEELE, kurtsteele.com. And that's the best place to find all my content and all my stuff for my social media. Everything's right there on the homepage. You just click the link and go right to all that stuff.
And I'll leave you with the greatest words ever spoken.
decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.